Elon Musk's life has often been described as extraordinary, a blend of science fiction and reality where innovation and humanity intertwine. Yet one of the most heartwarming chapters in his life started in a way few could have anticipated. It wasn't on the stage of a Tesla launch or the confines of a SpaceX facility. It was on a deserted stretch of California road with a shivering, abandoned pit bull. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. One chilly December evening, Musk was returning from a late-night brainstorming session at Neuralink. The road was eerily quiet and the sky was clear enough to see the stars that had inspired his dreams of interplanetary travel. As his Tesla cruised on autopilot, he spotted a small figure in the distance, barely visible under the harsh glare of his headlights. At first, he thought it might be a pile of discarded trash, an unfortunate but common sight. But as the car approached, it became evident it was something alive. Curious and concerned, he pulled over. The sight that greeted him was heartbreaking. A thin, visibly pregnant pit bull cowered by the roadside, her ribs protruding beneath her mottled fur. Her eyes were filled with fear and desperation, yet there was a glimmer of hope as she looked up at Musk. She wasn't wearing a collar, and her paws were scraped and bleeding, suggesting she'd been wandering for miles. Musk knelt beside her, speaking softly. "Hey girl, what are you doing out here?" The dog flinched at first, but didn't move away. With gentle coaxing and a protein bar he happened to have in the car, he managed to win her trust. He could see she was malnourished and exhausted, her pregnant belly a stark contrast to her skeletal frame. Without hesitation, Musk decided to take her home. Wrapping her carefully in a blanket he kept in the car, he placed her on the passenger seat. As they drove, he couldn't help but wonder about her story. Who would abandon such a vulnerable creature? And how could he help her? When they arrived at his home, Musk wasted no time contacting his private veterinarian, who confirmed the dog, whom Musk had already nicknamed Nova, was in dire condition. The vet explained that the pregnancy was high risk due to her poor health. It would take intensive care to ensure both Nova and her puppies survived. Musk didn't bat an eye. "Do whatever it takes," he said. Over the following weeks, Nova became a central figure in Musk's life. His days, usually dominated by meetings and technological breakthroughs, now included long moments sitting by Nova's side as she recovered. He watched as her strength returned, her personality blossoming with every meal and moment of care. Despite everything she'd been through, Nova was gentle and affectionate, as though she understood she was finally safe. When the time came for Nova to give birth, the tension in Musk's home rivaled that of a SpaceX launch. After hours of labor, Nova delivered a litter of 6 healthy puppies. Musk was overjoyed. He decided to name the puppies after celestial phenomena: comet, orbit, luna, sol, star, and nebula. His children, who were equally enamored with the new additions, helped care for them, their laughter filling the house as the puppies began to explore their surroundings. As the weeks turned into months, Musk realized the profound impact Nova and her puppies had on his life. They were more than just animals. They were symbols of resilience and the transformative power of compassion. Inspired by Nova's journey, Musk began brainstorming ways to address the issue of abandoned and mistreated animals on a larger scale. In typical Musk fashion, his solution was ambitious. Partnering with animal welfare organizations, he announced the creation of a new initiative called Paw Print. The goal was to leverage cutting-edge technology to improve animal rescue and rehabilitation efforts. Paw Print would include a nationwide network of AI-powered drones capable of locating stray animals, advanced veterinary clinics that used robotics for precision care, and a blockchain-based adoption platform ensuring transparency and accountability. The announcement sent shockwaves through both the tech and animal welfare communities. Musk's involvement brought unprecedented attention to the plight of abandoned animals, and funding poured in from all corners of the globe. Within a year, Paw Print had rescued thousands of animals, many of whom found loving homes through the program. But the most remarkable part of the story came 1 year after Musk found Nova. By this time, Nova had become a symbol of hope and change, her story inspiring millions. One day, while attending a Paw Print event in Los Angeles, Musk was approached by a woman who introduced herself as Julia. Her eyes were filled with tears as she explained that Nova was her dog. Julia revealed she had been searching for Nova ever since she was stolen from her backyard over a year ago. Heartbroken and unable to find her, Julia had feared the worst. Seeing Nova now, healthy and surrounded by love, was more than she had dared to hope for. As Julia recounted the happy memories she'd shared with Nova, it was clear the bond they once had was unbreakable. Musk faced a difficult decision. Nova was now a cherished part of his family, but he could see how much she meant to Julia. After a heartfelt conversation, they reached an agreement. Julia would be welcome to visit Nova anytime, but Musk would remain her primary caretaker. Julia agreed, grateful beyond words for the care Musk had given her beloved dog. In the years that followed, Nova and her puppies continued to thrive, splitting their time between Musk's home and Julia's. Paw print grew into a global phenomenon, revolutionizing animal welfare and setting a new standard for compassion in technology. And through it all, Musk often reflected on that fateful night when he'd spotted Nova on the roadside. It had been a small act of kindness, but it had sparked a chain of events that changed countless lives, including his own. Elon Musk's journey with Nova didn't end with her recovery or the establishment of Paw Print. It was only the beginning. The experience had awakened in him a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of all living beings, as well as a renewed sense of responsibility toward the natural world. While Musk was already known for his focus on sustainability through Tesla and his efforts to protect humanity's future by exploring space with SpaceX, Nova's story pushed him to think about the present needs of Earth's inhabitants in new ways. As Nova's fame grew, her image became iconic. Musk, never one to shy away from creativity, decided to use her likeness to champion his newfound cause of advocating for animal welfare. Nova became the official mascot of Paw Print, her story appearing on websites, billboards, and even educational materials. But Musk knew that awareness was just one piece of the puzzle. Real change would require systemic reform, and he had the resources to make that happen. When NovaSpeak launched as a product, it became an overnight sensation. Pet owners around the world marveled at how the device deepened their connection with their furry companions. Testimonials flooded in, ranging from simple observations like, "Now I know when my dog wants a specific toy," to life-changing moments where NovaSpeak detected symptoms of illness before they became severe. The success of NovaSpeak not only bolstered Musk's credibility as a humanitarian innovator, but also funded further research into animal welfare. Meanwhile, Nova and her puppies continued to thrive, often accompanying Musk to his various ventures. They became a familiar sight at Tesla factories, where employees lovingly referred to them as the space dogs. Nova, with her gentle demeanor, was particularly popular among engineers who often worked long, stressful hours. She seemed to have an almost therapeutic effect on them, reminding everyone of the importance of kindness and balance in their high-pressure environments. The puppies, now growing into robust and spirited dogs, had their own adventures. Comet showed a natural affinity for agility training and became a champion in local competitions. Luna, with her calm and composed nature, trained as a therapy dog, visiting hospitals and schools to bring comfort to those in need. Orbit, ever the explorer, became something of a mascot for SpaceX, even appearing in promotional materials as the first dog training for a potential mission to Mars, a playful nod to Musk's larger ambitions. Inspired by the joy his dogs brought to others, Musk expanded his philanthropic efforts. He funded a series of pet and people wellness centers across major cities. These centers offered free veterinary care for low-income families, dog training workshops, adoption drives, and even mental health counseling for pet owners dealing with loss or stress. The idea was simple. Pets were family, and their well-being was deeply tied to the well-being of their humans. Musk's initiatives began to attract attention from celebrities, philanthropists, and animal activists alike. Invitations to collaborate poured in, ranging from Hollywood actors eager to support Paw Print to global organizations seeking partnerships. One particularly notable collaboration was with Jane Goodall, the renowned primatologist. Goodall and Musk joined forces to launch an educational campaign promoting empathy for all living beings. Their joint talks, featuring Nova as an honorary guest, drew massive crowds and inspired a new generation to consider careers in animal sciences and conservation. The bond between Musk and Nova grew stronger as the months turned into years. Nova, who had once been a terrified stray, now exuded confidence and joy. She accompanied Musk on his travels, from high-profile events to quiet retreats in nature. Their relationship wasn't just one of ownership, it was a partnership. Nova had saved Musk in her own way. grounding him in a life often dominated by abstract concepts and futuristic goals. One particularly transformative moment occurred during a trip to Africa, where Musk was studying renewable energy projects. He brought Nova along, and one evening, they encountered a pack of wild African dogs while on a guided safari walk. The encounter was tense at first. The wild dogs were wary of the humans and their domesticated companion, but Nova, displaying a remarkable sense of calm and understanding, approached them gently. To everyone's astonishment, the pack accepted her presence, and for a brief moment, there was a sense of communion between the wild and the tame. The guide later remarked that it was a rare and beautiful thing to witness, a reminder of how deeply interconnected all life is. Back in the US, Musk's animal welfare efforts began influencing public policy. He used his platform to lobby for stricter laws against animal cruelty and better funding for shelters. His advocacy extended to the corporate world as well. Tesla's factories, already known for their sustainable practices, began offering employees pet-friendly benefits, including on-site daycare for pets and paid leave for adopting shelter animals. These initiatives set a precedent that other tech companies were quick to follow. One of the most groundbreaking projects to emerge from this period was the development of an advanced shelter system powered by renewable energy. Musk's engineers designed modular shelters equipped with AI-driven climate control, real-time health monitoring for the animals, and automated feeding systems. These shelters were rolled out in areas with high stray populations, providing a humane and sustainable solution to a long-standing problem. The public response to Musk's initiatives was overwhelmingly positive, but not without its skeptics. Critics questioned whether the resources poured into these projects could have been better spent elsewhere. Musk addressed these concerns head-on, arguing that caring for animals was a reflection of societal values. How we treat the most vulnerable, he often said, defines who we are as a civilization. Meanwhile, Nova's puppies, now fully grown, had become ambassadors for their mother's legacy. Their social media presence rivaled that of celebrity pets, and their appearances at events drew crowds eager to see the dogs that had inspired so much change. Musk, who had never been particularly active on social media outside of professional updates, found himself sharing candid moments with Nova and her brood, from playful romps in the garden to quiet evenings by the fire. These posts humanized him in a way few expected, showcasing a side of the billionaire that was rarely seen. As time passed, the impact of Musk's work became evident in ways both measurable and intangible. Stray populations decreased in cities where paw print was active, adoption rates soared, and the public's perception of pit bulls, often unfairly stigmatized, began to shift. Nova herself became a symbol of second chances, her story a testament to what could be achieved with a little compassion and a lot of determination. But the most surprising development came 3 years after Musk had first rescued Nova. During a routine visit to one of the paw print centers, Musk was approached by a young woman named Ellie. She carried a small, scrappy puppy in her arms and a nervous smile on her face. Ellie explained that she had found the puppy, barely alive, in a trash heap and had remembered Nova's story. Inspired, she had brought the puppy to paw print, hoping for a similar miracle. Musk knelt to pet the puppy, his mind flashing back to the night he'd found Nova. There was something poetic about the moment, how one act of kindness could ripple outward, inspiring others to do the same. He looked up at Ellie and smiled. "You've already done the hard part," he said. "You saved her." That night, as Musk sat with Nova and the puppy, whom Ellie had named Spark, he reflected on the journey they had all taken. From a dark roadside to a global movement, Nova had changed his life and countless others. She had taught him that progress wasn't just about reaching for the stars, but also about nurturing what was already here on Earth. And so, the story of Elon Musk and Nova continued, a living reminder that even in a world driven by technology and ambition, there is always room for compassion, connection, and a little bit of love. As the years passed, Nova's legacy only deepened. Elon Musk, despite his reputation for forward-thinking innovation, began to realize that the bond he shared with Nova and her puppies symbolized something timeless, an understanding of the here and now, of cherishing life in all its forms. This new perspective informed not only his animal welfare work, but also the broader trajectory of his personal and professional life. One of the more unique projects born from this era was the Harmony Initiative. Musk launched it as a global campaign promoting coexistence between humans, animals, and the environment. Harmony Initiative focused on creating urban spaces that were not only sustainable but also welcoming to wildlife and pets. Green roofs were transformed into sanctuaries for birds and pollinators, while urban parks featured areas specifically designed for stray and rescued animals to live safely. Nova and her puppies were often the face of this campaign, inspiring cities to integrate humane solutions into urban planning. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk rescuing an abandoned pregnant pit bull? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.